they're not going to score 4 touchdowns in 4 seconds. So, whether they score, we're still going to win. But it meant more than that to your players and your coaches.
To try to have an opportunity to get postseason in front of our and put ourselves in a situation like yesterday. 6 more days, get a chance to play UTEP at home for an opportunity to reach our first goal in this postseason play.
Which is, you guys, we've all said, we know that it's 6 games, but it is one step at a time, especially from the coaching staff and the team. We can fast forward and look at the schedule at the beginning of the year, but that really doesn't make anything happen. It's got to be a week in and week out, and that's what the team's bringing to the table right now.
And Garrett was talking, saying, why don't we talk about Conference USA Championship? I said, well, that's not, we can't win that next Tuesday night. We can become bowl eligible next Tuesday night. So one step at a time.
That's all it's about. Because when you start losing focus on the little things and the details and the preparation of one game, like you said, we can't win the conference championship, but we can get bowl eligible, and that is the focus point.
You can either become bowl eligible, or you can sleepwalk into a game and let somebody into a game that shouldn't be there, and that's why it's a week by week thing.
Definitely. All these teams in our league, we're very similar. We have to be playing really good football now. They were coming off the win, so I know UTEP has a lot of confidence. They seem to have settled in on the quarterback and well as far as I'm concerned. So those things are important. Every week, each week has nothing to do with last week.
No, it does not. It does not.
And what's really cool is we have 2 great quarterbacks. What a great luxury to have.
Yeah, I tell Coach sometimes, Coach Kershaw, maybe not get too good of a job recruiting sometimes.
But when I talked to Mike Saturday, and I said, man, can you believe it? 2 games and we're below?
Are quite perfect. Playing at home, you're playing in front of your crowd, a lot of your friends, a lot of your family. The routine is pretty much similar. On the road, you never know what kind of options you have, especially at a fight. There's a lot of things between timeouts and things like that. The Miami swagger.
Miami
Pitbull going
on. Absolutely. There's just a lot of things. Those guys will lock in focus and overcome all the distractions.
Yeah. So we lost 33-0 to Louisiana Tech last year. So what a great turnaround. But getting into last night, how were the 3 players that were hurt? I know Vineyard's in the booth, right?
He's in the booth. We're still evaluating him. And then Tyler Dunlap.
Yeah.
Fine. We walked around the room today.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
And then the nose tackle went out, but he came back in. Right?
Adam came back in.
Yeah, he came back in. So everybody's good, other than we're not really sure about Vineyard.
Not quite sure about Vineyard. We're still evaluating him to just kind of trying to get him back to 100%.
Yeah, because he looked like he could have come back in.
He could have.
But after Dex started 75 touchdown pass, it's kind of hard to say, okay, sit down.
But I love to quote Steve Spurrier when he says, "When you got 2 quarterbacks, you got none."
Right. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, our team aren't like that. This team doesn't look like that. In those types of games, people are, you're switching somebody. I always hate it when somebody gets a quarterback drives you all the way down the field, and then you bring the backup up because it's first and goal from the 4, and you think I got some plays. You're not doing that, but it doesn't seem. Who's in there? It really doesn't matter. It seems like the offense and our wide receivers over here coming on have all the confidence in the world in them.
Yeah, we told Dexter and we told them all, our team really values their differences in their styles. Both of our guys, which our receivers obviously appreciate, but also, too, just from the standpoint of leadership, the way they are in the building and outside of the building, their consistency. They're always like 2 guys. They put each other on the sideline. They're in tune to the game. They're always in. So when Dexter got out to the go in, it doesn't surprise me as the first play was just because that's what he showcased throughout the season.
Right. He showed you on practice day in and day out.
Yeah, he knows the game plan. He takes it to heart. He digests it. So when he gets an opportunity, he knows how to do that.
So, our last question, because we got to get on to the players, but we'll get you back on later to talk about UTEP, and you did a little bit earlier. When that guy came over and you threw the red flag on that 4th and 1, how did they even reconcile calling that first down?
They say they review every play, whether it's completion,
right.
slide, whatever it may be. So obviously we got guys in the press box in the booth, and they're watching some of the stuff on replay. They have a television copy as well there. So they're giving it a little bit of field. So I know what I saw in my own eyes. Sometimes we're not quite sure. Yeah, and they say, oh, we need to challenge that.
So is that Peter next to you who's saying that?
No, it's the guys
up in the booth.
So, like, when they see it, and we go through that process, I'm trying to see if the officials are going to overturn it first before I have to challenge it. And when they just kind of, they're not going to do that, they're not going to turn it. I said, we just got to take our shot and challenge this.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. We were on a text thread. I said, how can they even consider this? That's all. It was funny. And with a minute or so left in the game, I just hear we guys talking about whether we can take a knee or not.
We were, and we probably were going to take a knee.
And then they called the timeout.
So we said, okay, well, I guess we're
Well, and I was gonna ask you that later. Kneeling on the ball, when you have an offensive, I don't want to call you a juggernaut right now. I'm not trying to lay the jinx down or anything, but when you are doing really well offensively.